Example 3, this relates a little bit to what we just did because it uses scale factor. It has to do with similar triangles. What you'll notice here, they've got tick marks on the angles. So this one and this one means those two angles are equal. 3 tick marks means those two angles are equal. 2 and 2 mean those two angles are equal. And we consider that if all 3 angles in one triangle equal all 3 angles in the other triangle, and we don't have a pair of corresponding sides equal, we're looking at similar triangles. So what I'm looking at here is this angle here equals this angle here, which makes this side correspond to that. Those numbers are different, which makes them similar. If those numbers were the same, they'd be congruent, which means all the sides are equal. So if this was 4 and this was 4, that's 7, so this would be 7, that's 5, so this would be 5. So if they're congruent, they're the same. All right? When they're similar, there's some scale factor. All right? And when you do scale factor, this angle matches this angle, which means these two sides match up. And this angle up here equals this angle up here, so these two sides match up. All right. When you want to do scale factor, you pick the two sides where you know both values. So the blue ones, 4 and 3, I know both values, right? And I want to go from a triangle to a triangle. I like to go from left to right usually. All right. So I'm going to be going in this direction for scale factor. Whenever you do scale factor, you have to pick a direction you're going to go. I'm going to go from the big to the small in this case, or you can go from the small to the big. Doesn't matter. Make a decision. All right. And here's how scale factor works. I'm going to take the two numbers that I have both numbers for. I'm going to say the first number from where I'm going from times the unknown scale factor is equal to the number at the other side. So this is how you find scale factor. I'm starting at this triangle, I'm multiplying by some unknown scale factor to equal the number from the second triangle. If I solve that, I get the scale factor is 3/4. Okay? So it says find the scale factor, so I found the scale factor. Anytime you find scale factor, label it such, just like that, SF with a little ray over it. It's a vector for it, a vector unit there, so we want to treat it as such. But you don't have to know what a vector is at this point, but just treat it like that, that's what it is. All right, next. If I want to find out anything else, I'm going, again, I figured out a scale factor for this direction. If I want to find out what x is, I got to start here, times the scale factor equals x. So 5 times the scale factor equals x. Before I knew this information here, I couldn't put a number there, right? So I'd have had 5 times unknown scale factor equals unknown x. That's too many unknowns. But now that I know the scale factor, it remains the same throughout the problem. 5 times 3/4 is equal to 15/4. That's the correct answer. Looking at the red ones, 7 going to y. And again, our scale factor is 3/4 going from this to that. So 7 times the scale factor is equal to y. So 7 times 3/4 is 21/4. Remember, when you multiply a whole number times a fraction, you just multiply by the top, and the bottom stays what it is. Okay? In Algebra 1, we didn't do scale factor, we did proportions on these problems, and I'm going to do them again this year at some point. We'll do proportions again. I just wanted you to see another technique that you might like better. I'm all about showing you as many techniques as I can. You can pick and choose which one works best for you. That's going to make you the fastest math student while still getting the right answer. All right? What you need to do is find your own speed that you get the right answer every time you do it. If your speed is too fast, you get the wrong answer, slow down a little bit. Take your time a little bit more. If you are getting the right answer all the time, try and speed it up and see if you can continue to get right answers. If not, slow yourself back down. Ideally, by the time you're seniors or late the second semester juniors taking the ACT, you're going to see that that test represents a bunch of stuff you've seen before, that ideally you remember how to do everything quickly, and you get through it pretty fast. 60 questions, 60 minutes. That's your goal in Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Geotrig in high school, is to make yourself as good as you can at math, so when you take the ACT, you're looking at a test that's not that hard. So that when colleges see your high ACT score, they say, we want you and we'll pay you to go to our school. You don't have to pay for school then. That's pretty nice. So.